Bee colonies are complex social structures composed of three main types of bees: queens, workers, and drones, said the velvety voice. Ian looked intently at the beekeeper through the mesh of his own bee suit, completely mesmerized by the subject content amidst the incredible buzzing of thousands of bees surrounding the apiary. He never dreamed he would be so fascinated by the lives of bees that he would seriously consider specializing in apiculture, but here he was, happy for the first time in a long time. The queen bee is the largest bee in the colony and is responsible for laying eggs. She produces chemical pheromones that regulate the behavior and development of the other bees in the colony. The beekeeper goes on, reaching in gingerly, yet with an air expert confidence, directly into the hive to extract the queen. Ian quickly jotted down the info onto the sheet of note-taking paper on the clipboard issued at the start of the lab. He quickly glanced over at the other biology students to see if anyone else on the field trip was paying attention. "Not for everyone, I guess," he says to himself, securing the pen once again under the sturdy silver clip after seeing most other students on their phones or mildly swatting away particularly aggressive bees. There is usually only one queen in a colony, and her primary role is to ensure the colony's reproduction by laying fertilized eggs, which develop into worker bees, and unfertilized eggs, which develop into drones. Her hand now entirely engulfed with bees who were following their queen into her new temporary home inside the palm of the calm beekeeper. "Tell me about it," Ian scoffs to himself, annoyed at the disrespectful attitudes of his peers. "Drones everywhere," he mumbled, rolling his eyes. He then closed his eyes, breathed in and let out a deep sigh, pausing to take in all the sounds of the environment, trying to find the happiness again, letting the buzzing of the bees envelope him. Calm again. He breathed in and out and slowly reopened his eyes toward the sound of the beekeeper's voice, and he quickly noticed the entire class's attention had shifted to what Ian was now staring at unblinking. The beekeeper had moved backward and to the right underneath a giant tree shading yet another apiary. The class audibly leaned in to hear the beekeeper. Giant honeybees, scientifically known as Apis dorsata, are renowned for their mesmerizing behavior known as shimmering waves, she said, motioning to the bees. Shimmering is a collective movement of bees that occurs on the surface of the nest, creating a visually striking display resembling a wave or ripple. Ian broke his wide-eyed stare and glanced around again. His once disinterested classmates were now fully attentive and silent. Some were recording the phenomenon on their phones. An O and AHH escaped a few mouths, hardly audible under the constant buzzing. This phenomenon is primarily observed in response to external disturbances, such as predators or environmental factors like temperature changes or wind. When a threat approaches the colony, individual bees along the periphery of the nest start to move in a coordinated manner, producing a ripple effect that spreads across the entire surface of the nest. The shimmer of the giant honeybees was captivating and otherworldly, and apparently hard to appreciate without being there, Ian had concluded, after trying to share his experience to his flatmates who had unanimously decided the shimmer was just the wave and that humans are really just getting in touch with their inner bee at football games. Ian resigned to returning back to the apiary alone since none of his flatmates wanted to or cared to see it for themselves. One thing was certain though, there was something magical about seeing the giant bees shimmer, and Ian felt a pull inside to revisit his new winged friends, even though entering the apiary unsupervised was strictly forbidden.